All right, it is time. We have the link. It is big reaction time from your boy. We have the Xbox. The podcast title is Updates on the Xbox Business. It is 22 minutes long. It starts right now. Chat, as always, like and subscribe and make my brain feel good. But also, let me know how audio is. Let me know how video is. Make sure everything is on the up and up here. I want just the perfect viewing experience for all of us.
Hello, and welcome to the official Xbox podcast.
What you got
I'm your
for
host,
us?
Tina Amini, and we have a very special episode today, as you can probably tell by the fact that I'm joined by Phil, Sarah, and Matt. Welcome.
The squad.
And we're going to
Matt
talk
Booty.
about some updates at Xbox. We want to talk about game exclusivity. We want to talk about Activision Blizzard, now that they're part of our portfolio, how that might be an impact on Game Pass.
Get these people a
And we want
couch,
to talk
man. They
about
look so
hardware, too, and
uncomfortable.
how all of this
No one
fits
here is
into
comfortable.
the strategy at Xbox. So where should we start, Phil?
Well, when we originally had planned for the show, starting back in December, I think we probably would have started with Activision Blizzard, maybe talked a little bit about the exclusivity with some of the news coming up, and then hardware. But we've had some unforeseen news that has come out. So let's
Leaks.
just go and tackle the exclusivity question, because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. We hear from the community, and that's an important input for us.
Hell yeah, chat.
So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles, just 4 games.
Straight out?
Not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive
Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves.
It is, we're making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision
Wonder what it
really with
smells
the
like in
long-term
there.
health of Xbox in mind.
Victory.
And long-term health of
Ash.
Xbox means
Pentiment,
growing
good guess.
platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators, reaching as many players as we can. We're always looking to learn as a leadership team and to grow.
So
We think this is an
long-winded.
interesting point in
Podcast,
time
wrong
for
format
us
for
to
this.
use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So we're going to do that.
So these 4 titles, what are they?
Yeah.
Can you say?
I'm not going to name those games. The teams that are building
Are you
those
fucking
games
kidding
have
me?
announced plans that are not too far away.
That's
As
so
we know,
stupid.
game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements
Come on,
with the
man.
partners. So
The
I don't
cat's
want to
out of
take
the bag.
anything away from those teams.
This was supposed to be to answer
so I
questions.
won't be talking about the titles specifically, but I think when they come out,
Honestly,
it'll make sense.
Can we say if
Fumble
either of
bag.
those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the
This is
criteria in how
insane.
the
This
team
is
was thinking
insane
about
behavior.
selecting those 4 titles?
Let me start a little bit outside of that,
And
and
then
then I'll get
keep
to
your
the 4
secrets.
specific games that we're talking about right now. Because the fundamental decision driver for any decision that we make, anything we're going to talk about today, is the long-term health
fuck
of
am I-
Xbox. That we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players, that our games are having as much success as possible. And I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years,
show me
exclusive
propaganda,
games,
bro.
games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game
To
industry.
close
And
out
that's
the
not some
podcast,
great
yeah, it's a
insight,
mess.
because if you
Chad
look at the last
agrees.
10 years and what the biggest games are today, it's a natural place. Whether it's one console and PC, multiple consoles, mobile console and PC, you see big games landing on multiple platforms. And we want to be a
Motorsport,
great
yeah, a bit of a
platform
miss there.
for creators that are trying to realize that potential. But now back to the specifics of the question on these four specific titles.
These 4 games.
We looked
These
at
4 games.
games that
I'm
are
talk about these
over
4
a year
games.
old.
I'm not willing
So
to say
they've
what these
been
4
on
games are, but they're
Xbox
probably
and
Hi-Fi
PC
Rush,
for a while.
Pentiment.
A couple of the games are
So fucking
community-driven
stupid.
games, new games.
And Chad,
that
I'm
kind of
usually pretty
first
positive on this
iterations of a
shit.
franchise
But this
that
is
have
pretty
reached
stupid.
Their full potential, I'd say, on Xbox and PC. There's always growth.
I'm an Xbox fan.
Franchises that we obviously want to continue to invest
Go look
in.
at my history.
Part of having the ability to continue to invest is that the businesses behind those franchises continue. We think it's important that these service-based games that have communities behind them, that they can have confidence that they're going to exist in the future. So 2 of them, kind of community-driven games that will
Oh
end up
my
on other
God,
platforms
dude.
and give us the
Don't
ability to continue to
fucking
invest
beat
in them. We
around
think
the
that's
bush
great for
like
the
this.
business and great for
2
the
of them are like
community,
this,
more
and then
players.
2 of them are more of a single-player experience. And
2 of
we're
the other
interested to
games
see
are
how they
smaller
might
games
affect.
that were never really meant to be built as kind of platform exclusives and all the fanfare that goes around that. But games that our teams really wanted to go build, that we love
Sea of
supporting
Thieves and
creative
Grounded
endeavors
is
across our
probably, it's
studios,
probably, yeah,
regardless
Sea of Thieves,
size.
Grounded, Hi-Fi
And
Rush,
as
and
they've realized
Pentiment
their
would
full
probably
potential on
be
Xbox and PC. We see an
the 3,
opportunity
the 4.
to utilize the other platforms as a place to just
But fucking insane
drive
behavior.
more business value out of those games, allowing us to
that all eyes are on
invest in
Xbox
maybe
and they are
future
being
iterations of
cagey
those,
like this.
sequels to those, or just other
Because if it
games
is those
like
4
that in our
games,
portfolio.
barely
And
anyone
we
gives
don't
a fuck.
damage Xbox, and we can grow our business using what other platforms have and to help us with that.
This is
we're
wild,
gonna do
dude.
that. And that's really the story
Bad
behind
calls.
these 4 games. And last thing I'll say, looking forward, I
Shit.
think there is an
Diablo
interesting
4 is coming to
story
PC
for us
Game
of
Pass.
introducing Xbox franchises to players on other platforms to get them more interested.
Wonder if that's going to pop up here.
We think
So they still complaining? I'm complaining. Fine, welcome in.
Xbox there. So 4 games, no promise beyond that. So if you're on those other
4
platforms
games,
and you see
got
these
4
4 games
games.
coming, please don't take it as some signal that everything's coming. It's not. And we're going to learn.
So when you are thinking about the future and this concept of live service
It's
games,
so stupid
games
that the
can benefit
Twitter
from
highlights
bigger
right now is like
audiences,
they're
new
bringing 4
audiences,
Xbox
how
games.
does it apply to
Sources say
future
the
titles
first
and
2
how you're
titles are
applying that
Hi-Fi
criteria
Rush and
there?
Pentiment,
Yeah,
followed
there's
by
really
Sea of
no
Thieves and
fundamental
Grounded.
change
But it's
to
so
how
fucking
we think about
stupid that they're
exclusivity.
having
We just
this
came out of Developer Direct, which was an awesome
whole
show,
thing.
Where we showed
And that the
great
headlines
games
are
that coming
still
to Xbox and PC,
this instability.
cloud, which really
you know what I
makes
mean?
them
This
accessible to,
unsure
hundreds of millions
bullshit.
of people.
It's such a
So
fucking
it's this kind of we're really focused on a couple
misstep.
platforms
I
and what's
can't-
going to show up there.
I can't
but
fathom
our key of play the
people
games
sitting
you
here
want,
and being like, "This
you
is the way to
want, where you
handle it."
want, when anybody play, when everybody
22-minute
plays, we all
Xbox
win.
podcast
These have been part of our
where we
strategy
defend our
for years,
decision to
and
put
will
out
continue
4
to be.
question mark
Our
games.
focus is on
You needed to
how
make
do
this a
we continue to
celebration,
grow the games
not a fucking
industry by reaching
defense.
more players in more places. And how do we grow
You're sitting
Xbox
here like,
as part of
hey,
that?
everybody, this is
Xbox
going to be
a
okay.
hardware platform. Xbox is a publisher of great games.
Bad.
And Xbox as a platform for the
Party
world's
Animals on
best
PS5,
games.
now that would be smart.
And then knowing that, how do we think about our first-party games and Game Pass?
Yeah, well, to build on
Lost Japanese
what
fans,
Phil just
yeah.
said, one thing I would add,
War's a bad
when you were
omen in
talking
Japan.
about
This I didn't
growth,
know.
it's
Yeah.
just that
Matt
we've
Booty's
sort of
here.
seen this inversion over the last 5 years where it used to be that the platform was the biggest thing.
That's right.
And the games would
Matt
sort of
Booty
tuck in
allowed to talk
within
at
the platform.
the 7-minute mark.
Big games like a Roblox or a Fortnite could actually be bigger than any one platform. And that really has
That is
changed
not
the way
his
that
last
we
name.
think
Oh,
about things. So in the midst
it
of all
is.
that, I think
President
we
of
at First
Xbox.
Party can come back to
Booty
sort of
definitely
some
got bullied
core
in school,
principles.
yeah, but
First,
in his
that
adult
all
life,
of our games will be on the Xbox platform.
you know he's raking
Second,
it in.
all of our games will go into Game Pass on day 1. And third, we know that
tough
Game Pass
childhood,
will only be
but
available
a very
on Xbox.
dope adulthood.
So there's sort of starting points for us.
Get
As
the
Phil
booty.
mentioned, there are games today that you can play
Grab attention
that
to
only
vague
can be found on
details.
Xbox.
Yeah, get
And
people
at the
talking.
same
They're
time,
talking, but I
we
think
want to bring more of our games to
it's
more
all about
players. So we're gonna
positioning.
continue
And this
to
just
look at
feels
that.
like a weird defensive
Kind of moving
tactic.
aside,
Like, hey,
though, from
this is why we're
some of
doing it.
those and
Nobody
thinking more
panic,
about
but
what does it
also
really
maybe
mean for the
fucking
player.
panic.
To me, the 2 key things
Feels like
are
we're patching up the ship
cross-play
right
and
now.
cross-save. Those things allow us to deliver on the promise of Xbox, which is play with your friends where they are, play on the devices you want, play the games you want. So that
Wow,
is
Sarah
really
Bond loves
only
that.
possible at a
That is such
practical level when you
Matt,
know
you're right.
that your saves and your player are going to be able to move across all those
Wow,
parts.
cross save,
So
cross
not all our
saves.
games today
That's very
aren't
impressive.
necessarily built
Very
to take
impressive.
advantage of that. There still will be some games that don't.
That fucking
As we
existed.
bring more teams into the Xbox family, there's some catch up to do as we get there. But that cross-play, cross-save is like so fundamental to
who
what
the
we're
fuck
doing.
that
And
is,
I think
dog.
it's
That's Phil Spencer.
something
That's
that we as
P3.
First Party
Look at him
get
sitting
such
there.
a good benefit from being so close to the platform.
He looks like he's having the
absolutely.
longest
And
day of
that's
his
one
fucking
the things,
life.
like you said, all of our games are always in Game Pass. And so I'm excited to announce, with the coming together that we had with Activision Blizzard King, that Activision and Blizzard games are coming to Game Pass, starting with Diablo 4 on March 28th, which I'm super, super excited to share today.
That's nice.
And it's all part of our commitment to make the Xbox experience
sure
and the games
wish
that we
I
build
didn't
as widely available as possible.
spend $70
so now
on
the
Diablo.
34 million Game Pass members can all enjoy the
De
fantastic
Guzman.
experience of
De
Diablo 4.
Guzman the ninth?
Can we
De
come back to
Guzman.
the point, Phil,
Welcome
you
in.
mentioned
Thanks
at
for
the
being
top, this
here.
isn't really a change
I'm just
in
complaining about
strategy for
Xbox
us.
shit.
Can you recap for me how it isn't?
Tuning in right now, what I get
And I
Diablo
thought
4 and a
both Matt and Sarah
bunch of
did a really
defensive
nice
comments
job of talking about what we're doing on Xbox, where we're going.
so far.
If you take a platform feature like Xbox Play Anywhere,
Even
which
still,
has been a promise that we've made on our first party games, that you can buy our game once, you're going to get play across Xbox and Windows. I think we're
nobody
the only
does
platform that
Xbox
does
Play
this.
Anywhere.
That makes it possible for you not
do
only to
Game
play
Pass.
with your
Yep.
friends wherever they are, but to know that you actually have multiple entitlements to the games. I think that's a,
He looks
a
like that guy.
technology I'd love to see.
Give us new
applied to more
Bloodwake or
platforms.
Crimson Skies. Oh my
but
god,
it is
Crimson
this
Skies
view
fucks.
that
Privileged
people are
Skies has
going to
a big
play
install
Xbox
base.
in multiple places. Whether it's play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want.
Xbox Play Anywhere was big for like a year and a half before Game Pass came out. And the big thing was like, hey, you bought an Xbox game, play it on PC if you want. You bought a PC game, play it on Xbox if you want.
That we've used, but always with this view.
Stop digging more tunnels. You guys are annoying me. I get it. It's a fucking nightmare.
Most players.
It's a nightmare.
Our investments in xCloud, our investments in franchises like Minecraft and now Call of Duty and other large franchises.
22 minutes for what could have been a fucking email.
This has been a strategy that we've been on for, I'd say, a decade. It's not about one device.
This is so bizarre.
It's not about
We're watching
games in service of a device.
Historic bag fumble.
Rather, the devices that people want to play on should be in service.
It's not.
Of
That's being too harsh on it.
And popular as they possibly could be. Because really, a healthy creator community on Xbox, a healthy creator community in
it's
gaming
so bad.
Yeah,
game industry Twitter is turning on it so fucking
because
fast.
That's the thing that will lead to the best long-term success.
The headlines right now is Indiana Jones and Starfield are not one of the 4 titles.
Learning from you three over the past few weeks, just understanding what's happening with Xbox is that we see trends with player behavior where people are playing on multiple devices. That is the reality, and we have put some games out on multiple platforms before. So my understanding is that that's been good for players. How does that come back to the business with all of that in mind?
Yeah, as you said, we have shipped games on other platforms. In fact, realistically, if you look with the addition of Activision and Blizzard and ZeniMax,
take a shot every time he says Activision Blizzard.
On PlayStation, we're one of the largest publishers on the Nintendo Switch, especially when you put Minecraft into the equation as well. And now we're one of the largest publishers on mobile platforms as well. And that's not something
You're an odd cat. I'm just going to ban you. I feel like nothing good's going to come from your existence in this chat.
Games that millions and millions
I hope you have a good life.
Love, and that they can play those games where they want to go play. But we do understand the business success that Xbox has to have. Us as leaders in this business, the system today, the system that all companies that we play video games from, is a world of you got to be growing your business. Growth in our Xbox business is critical to the long-term health of Xbox. Many people know I've been on Xbox for over 20 years.
I am so fucking glad that we played a little to the left today.
For the next 20 years. That means healthy player community, healthy creator
community. Jake keeps all advanced for himself. I should have just
when we look at
on him. That would have been more funny.
More people to play, more people engage, more people to buy,
off with his head.
Subscribe. It's all about putting Xbox in the
best
position.
You want me to unban them so you can ban them again?
Is a critical component of that. The absolute best experience somebody has on Xbox is hardware that
what is his stupid fucking shirt? Hold on.
That's not going to be
What's Phil Spencer's shirt? It looks like it has like a big fucking iron-on patch, bro.
So I think a lot of people think about 2023
like
as this
Xbox
incredible year for gaming, and in a lot of ways it was. There were some really amazing releases that I think we all enjoyed. But what were the signals behind the scenes that
I need to get this shirt.
How
Do they
we
sell
wanted
it?
to look at the future of Xbox and how we kind of keep up with the industry?
Hold on, I'm opening up a new tab.
Such a good question, and I think
Xbox.
As people who care about the industry, which I assume
Xbox Better Together, King, Blizzard, Activision. I gotta get this fucking shirt, bro. Xbox Gear Shop.
But it's an industry that didn't really
apparel.
Grow. And what happens when an industry doesn't
your Google
grow?
Glass when you need it.
You end up with some.
Oh, hold on. There's some actual drip on here, though.
We had even our own hard decisions to make about building a
this Xbox 360, Xbox Live T-shirt is sick.
But in no way were we alone in that. When you think about a healthy industry, I want players who believe.
How much of his wardrobe do you think is Xbox T-shirts?
I
want the vast majority.
Who invest their careers
categories,
in
apparel.
To feel like this is a place that they can be successful, and that really is down to being part of an industry that is growing. If you listen to Lisa Su, the AMD CEO, she'll say that AMD-powered consoles are likely to decline.
Big obnoxious X is what I'm looking for here.
I think there's an amazing set of games coming in 2024.
Maybe by newest date, new to old. It's got to be kind of new, right?
Will struggle. And today there's really two choices on how do you grow the industry. Do you say I have a fixed number of players, the players that we have today, and do I find new ways to monetize those players to get more money
Game Fuel
from the players that I have? Or do you think about how do I expand the business I have by finding new players and adding those to the base of players that already play? Our focus on Xbox for the last decade has really been on that latter point of how do we make sure Xbox is growing for our players, growing for our creators, so those people are finding success on our platform, which will grow the Xbox business and put Xbox in a position to be very strong for years and decades.
Who the fuck greenlit this?
Matt, earlier you were talking about
Phil, somewhere up the line, Phil.
How they're incredibly large and
it's a fucking
comparable on such a different level when we think about console audiences. Like you mentioned Roblox, you mentioned Fortnite. So how are we're obviously thinking about our responsibility, our hardware
I have to upload this video as like the stupidest
growth of gaming communities.
The stupidest 20 minutes of Xbox I've ever watched.
Are there other games we can speak to from our portfolio?
Well, as Phil mentioned,
actually fucking insane behavior.
Call of Duty and Minecraft. I mean, they are driven just from the bottom up by the communities of people that play those games, which is so great. I think about it, for the player community, it comes down to where are the friends, where are the people you play with, and then equally important is where have you built up your library of games, right?
Hello, mate, you stream very good.
I think those two things probably are some of the biggest influences on where people choose to play.
I can't believe Jake hates something from Xbox more than Hellblade 2. Whoa, wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves, bro.
Just any game developer wants.
Now I hate this, but I wouldn't say that I hate this more than Hellblade 2.
The nature of building a game, you want people to enjoy. And
Major Nelson would have never let this happen. So true.
And I think we're in a unique position to deliver on that. Just
would be a good point he's making, but the problem is that they're further monetizing their loyal fans while doing nothing to incentivize new players. 100%.
A system that ties that together, that brings together your friends,
play here.
Your
that's nice, right?
Your achievements,
you want to keep playing here?
And I think that's really what has contributed to the momentum behind some of these communities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at
nipples.
Just step back and you look at the history of the industry, we've moved from a place where it used to be that someone built and launched a game to accelerate hardware to actually the things we do with our hardware and with our platform are all in service of making those games bigger. And we think about that across all of the investments we make, the consoles we build, the investments we do with things like cross-play, cross-progression.
I can't believe Jake hates something more than Sonic Adventure 2. No.
How do we actually give more options to game creators?
Sonic Adventure 2, and I think it's the fucking worst.
I think one of the fun recent examples about this is actually Power World.
I don't know who these adults are.
Power World was able to launch.
I believe
game preview.
Phil Spencer is now some sort of, I believe he is the lord of Microsoft gaming. That includes like Xbox, Activision, Blizzard,
and it was the largest third-party Game Pass launch ever. And that's all because we give creators options on how they can launch their games. We've got subscription, we've got retail, we've got
Crown
free-to-play, we've got free preview. We have
of
the
Xbox
consoles,
games.
We have our experience on PC,
I believe.
And they can access
and then
all
Matt
of those
Booty.
things. And when we step back and we just look at the performance of our platform all up, we know it's working.
No, they all got new roles, but I forgot what any of them are.
Highest level of users on PC,
but these are the three people that make poor decisions that lead to this.
Growth rate on PC
historically, they're honestly pretty good executives as far as like being transparent and putting out good shit. But they're having a rough couple of years and a terribly rough day right now.
So we're talking about the role that hardware plays for creators, for the games in those communities. What about the role that hardware
They put out a new like org chart.
When we look at our hardware, it really is, and Phil said this earlier, it's where you get like the most flagship seminal experience of Xbox. And it also represents a developer target. Our developers can build the specs of our hardware, and we invest to make sure they know when they do that the games are going to run great on our hardware, but they're also going to be able to be accessed across any screen because of all the other investments we make. So we're giving them an easy
Phil
way
Spencer
to access
is
as
the
many
CEO
players as possible.
Of Microsoft
and we actually have
Gaming.
more creators right now building
then
for Xbox than
Matt
ever before
Booty
by nature,
is the
thousands of them by nature of those
of
investments.
game content and studios, and then Sarah Bond is the president
we're
of
share this
Xbox.
Holiday, and we're also invested
So it
in the
seems
next
like
generation
Phil
roadmap.
Spencer,
And what we're really focused on there,
his second in command is Matt Booty. Matt Booty is overseeing
ever seen in a hardware generation,
everything that includes Activision, Blizzard, King, Bethesda, ZeniMax Media stuff, and then Sarah Bond is more focused on like the internal Xbox stuff, like the Xbox Studio stuff, which would be like 343 and Gearbox, and who's the studio that's working on Perfect Dark and Rare, and the people that we've known as Xbox forever,
how I own my
from 3+
content
years
that I've
ago and on.
invested in. So what can
Matt
we
Booty
say
is kind of all
about
the
our
new
stance
acquisition
around
stuff.
game preservation?
Yeah, one of the highlights for me of being in this position was getting to stand on stage when we announced back compat coming to Xbox One. Like, it was fantastic.
Now you're talking
People
about
reading the teleprompter before I could read.
Good shit.
Slow reader, and just feeling the energy in the auditorium as we were saying that and online.
Bro.
one of the
Xbox
cues
Mini
I think
controller
us as being
hoodie?
part of Microsoft take.
Yeah,
is
what do?
looking
You
at
put your
Windows
Xbox controller in
and
this
how
hoodie?
Windows
This is sweet.
over decades has
Fine,
maintained
Hideo.
software compatibility with things
Look how
that are built
adorable
on it.
this is.
Like I can still go back and play some of the games that I love playing on Windows from decades ago, and it will still run.
Now,
We
this is
try
what
to
they should
bring
be
that
talking about.
Same view to consoles. It's harder in console.
It's a
because
hoodie
the
for your
line between
controller.
What the hardware is and what the game is in consoles is traditionally.
It's only $25.
It's tighter.
Should I buy it? Someone
makes
give 5
compatibility-
subs.
You end up doing these generational compatibilities that we've built.
I'm
But I
just
will say
kidding.
compatibility, the ability to not only play the games, but my saves are still
It's
there.
kind of a
with our
flex,
cloud
though.
save
Weird flex, but
systems
okay.
To try to keep the services up as long as we
Now, the
can
question
so that
I
people
ask
can play is
there a
what we
matching
are as Xbox.
human
it's at our
hoodie
foundation. And when we look at
that I could
future
buy
hardware generations
that matches
and
my
what we're gonna
Xbox's hoodie?
support,
Because I would begin
making
every
sure that we
Xbox stream by
respect,
wearing
which is
that
the word,
hoodie
respect the
and
investments
then
that people have made in
unzipping the
Xbox
hoodie
going
from my
forward
controller.
is fundamental. And the fact that you get entitlements
Now, is
when you
that
buy a
something
game from us on both Windows and Xbox also
that
means
I'm
you have
very
the
interested
ability
in?
to play that game across a multitude of devices, which I think furthers the compatibility of the games that you own.
Can we go back to what Xbox
Blame
stands
Renee,
for
maybe.
today? I think we've pretty much covered all of the elements, but if you could break it down.
I'm looking
for
to
me.
see if there's the Xbox
When
hoodie.
you play on Xbox, what we're saying is you're playing on
I
a
need a
platform
perfect match, though.
where you know the biggest games in the world are always going to be. You're playing on a platform where you get to access Game Pass.
Looking good, chat.
And all of the games from our incredible range of studios will always launch in Game
Oh,
Pass
you can't.
day one. And you're playing on a platform that's dedicated to you,
Massive
like
miss.
player-first features, cross-play, cross-save, cross-progression, backwards compatibility.
Cross-progression.
Being able to play your games in your library anywhere you want because of the
This is
investments that you
fucked.
make in cloud gaming. And so you're playing somewhere
gonna
where
keep
you are
retreading here?
investing and
Yeah.
you know you get
Let's
to
see how
take
they
the
divvied
games
this up. The
forward with
chapters
you and
were
across all of the screens
introduction,
where you are.
exclusivity.
And I think most importantly,
How does that apply to
Xbox
future
is a place
titles?
where you know when
First
you're
party
investing in
games and Xbox Game
you're
Pass.
investing somewhere that
Activision
is
Blizzard games are
dedicated to
coming to
making
Xbox Game
games more
Pass.
successful
Why
and creators
isn't
more
this a change in
successful,
Xbox
so that they
strategy?
can invest more
How
and
is
bring even
multi-platform
better
availability
experiences to you
good for
all the time.
business? How does Xbox want to keep up with the industry?
In the studios
Gaming
and we
communities,
feel that as part
Xbox
of first
hardware,
party with the
game
platform
libraries and
proximity. You know, it's,
preservation. What does
kind of
Xbox stand
amazing
for
now to
today?
look out
In outro.
across all the studios we've got.
Insane
and
behavior.
Just be reminded that we're now one
From
of
a
the
fucking
biggest
billion-dollar
development
company.
organizations in the industry. What does that mean for players? It means
22
that
minutes
the
of
biggest
defending
games are gonna
themselves.
continue to
5
come
minutes
to Xbox.
maximum
And,
of giving us
this
non-news.
2024, the year coming up, we've got more than 10
The last
major
thing I remember
releases
is you
coming
starting
up.
this video.
Great
I
stuff.
lost actual
Hellblade
minutes of
2,
my life
we've got
listening to
Diablo
this.
expansion,
Yeah, dude.
We've got Avowed, Ara,
I had a
the
delivery
Indiana
today
Jones
that's missing,
game,
and I missed
and
the.
there's more in
And I
development,
missed the
which,
Activision Blizzard
I
segment,
think we're gonna be
so
able
I'm
to share
extra
more about
biased since
at
they
our
said
June
nothing in the time
showcase
I've been
coming
here.
up pretty
All they
soon.
said is that
Well,
it's
I
coming in
guess I should
Diablo
get
4 is the
ready
first
to
thing.
fund that show.
Sorry, fuckers that
Well,
spent
thank you all
$70
for
on it.
showing up on the podcast today.
I'm done.
and
I'm
we'll see
done.
the
I'm
rest-
done. You don't get to fucking outro. I'm done. Thanks for coming out. YouTube, thank you for absolutely not YouTube. YouTube, you're the best. Xbox, thank you for absolutely nothing. Honestly, one of the worst events I've ever tuned into. And I get that it was a fucking podcast, but they had a chance to celebrate something, and instead they gave us non-news and really ruined things. But if you watch this on YouTube, thank you so much. Like and subscribe. I'm way more positive. Go watch any reaction to anything else ever. I'm over the moon. I get excited about bad things all the time. It's the best.